morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Cubs Daily. My name is Steven Ryan. The Cubs do drop 2 of 3 to the Mets, but there are some, of course, positives. Cade Horton makes his debut. There's trouble a-brewing in Boston, and there was a potential trade floated out there for the Cubs to upgrade a critical position, and we will preview the Marlins series all here on today's edition of Cubs Daily. But before we get into all that, I want to give a big shout out to all of you who have helped support the channel, liked the videos, commented on the videos, giving me your thoughts. I love hearing everybody's thoughts, and of course, those of you who subscribed. Now, I'm going to preview a trade in this one, okay? It's a potential. You'll hear my opinions on it. I, of course, want to hear every other one's opinions on it as well, so make sure you guys comment down below. So, let's hop right into it. The Cubs do drop 2 of 3 to the Mets in a pretty rocky series for the Cubs, I would say. They lose 7-2, I believe, on Friday. They win the game on Saturday and drop 6-2 in the series finale. Again, yesterday's game was a really, really good one. It was 2-2 going into the 8th, and, as much as you just want to sit there and be like, it's the bullpen's problem, it's the bullpen's problem. Well, the offense didn't show up either. The offense didn't really help all that much as well. Eventually, runs are going to be given up, and the Mets are a really, really good team. Obviously, last year they made the NLCS, and they upgraded with Juan Soto. And if you're a Cubs fan and you know how the addition of Kyle Tucker helps everyone in the lineup, adding Juan Soto to your lineup helps also everybody in the lineup, including the likes of San Francisco Lindor and Pete Alonso, who contributed into that 8th inning rally and really put the dagger in the Cubs for that game. PCA did go yard to tie it up on Mother's Day. You love to see that as well. Lots of positive signs from this weekend, including our very own stud young pitcher, Mr. Cade Horton. Cade went 4 innings. He gave up 3 earned runs. Now, it wasn't like a little drop by drop. It was one gigantic swing of the bat. Cade Horton gave up 3 runs, but otherwise he looked really, really solid to me, ladies and gentlemen. 5 strikeouts, no walks, a lot of zip. He even got out of some fun, not fun, but critical situations, and you just like to see that from the young guy, right? I'm not expecting him to go out and be absolutely dominant. There's not many players that really, truly do that anymore. So, again, I expect him to have struggles. I expect him to not be able to figure out every single situation. He just needs to get reps. But I thought it was an absolutely 5-headed move by Craig Counsell to not start him, but start Mitch Keller instead, and then automatically bring in Cade Horton for a preserved start in the sense. Cubs were already up 1-0. As soon as they brought Cade Horton in, they got him his first win in the major leagues. And even though wins and losses might not necessarily be the best metric to determine how good a pitcher is, there's obviously ERA, there's WHIP, there's strikeouts per 9, strikeouts to walk ratio, etc., etc. It's always good to get a win. It's always good to put a W next to your name. It's good to see it's good for Cade to be like, I'm 1-0 in the bigs, it's a confidence builder, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. First batter, he struck out. I mean, that ball might have been a little bit low, but there's plenty of zip. There's enough zip on it to be like, hey, that's a strike. Like, I'm not going to deal with that. So he got good movement on his off-speed pitches. Cade looked really, really solid for his first first debut in the big leagues, and I'm excited to watch him pitch again. I'm curious to see when the Cubs do start him, though. 4 innings is not super taxing, but, he definitely is going to be warranting a few days rest here. Probably when a Shota spot is due up here in the next few days, probably like Wednesday maybe. I'm guessing the Cubs do want to get him a start against the Marlins. Again, the Marlins are a struggling ball club, and you just want to keep building the confidence. And hopefully Cade will get his first true official start at Wrigley Field in front of the home faithful. But again, very, very happy for Cade on his debut. 5 Ks, no walks. Again, 1 swing, gave up 3 runs. So I'm not too concerned about it. The Cubs got the win. That's what you truly want to see. Now, there was some rumblings of brewing in Boston, okay? They're on the verge of having a disgruntled superstar, okay? His name's Rafael Devers. He's one of the best hitting players in all of baseball. Now, defensively at third, he leaves a lot to be desired, but when you play professional baseball, if you can hit, they'll find a spot for you on the squad. There's just no two ways about it. There's a lot of better defenders out there than there are hitters of the baseball, and especially long ball hitters of the baseball. So that's what makes this trade very, very tempting if the Cubs were to attempt it. Now, I don't think the Cubs have to go as far as this projected trade is going to show, but I do believe that the Cubs have the pieces to pull this off if need be. So, FanDuel gave out this projected trade here over the course of last week, and I just want to take a look. I want to give it a little bit of a breakdown, and I'll give you guys my thoughts. Again, I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment below. What are your thoughts on this trade? So, Cubs would receive Rafael Devers and left-handed pitcher Sean Newcomb. He's a reliever. Maybe he helps the bullpen, maybe he doesn't. It's such a crapshoot on that front. The Red Sox will get Matt Shaw, our number 1 prospect, Mr. Ballesteros, our number 4 prospect, Nazir Moulay, number 26, and John Birdie. He's already on the Major League roster. Here's what I'm thinking. I think this is a little bit too much. I know it's really tough to say, but this is really the battle that the Cubs are dealing with internally, right? Do you go and get a proven player? Yeah, Rafael Devers is a proven player, both good and bad, right? We know he's a fantastic hitter. He's absolutely incredible as a hitter. Now, defensively, again, leaves a lot to be desired. But right now, I think the Cubs would take 272, 28 home runs, 83 RBIs. I think the Cubs would honestly take that. He's a career 279 hitter. He's got over 200 career home runs, 2-time Silver Slugger, 3-time All-Star, World Series champion. I mean, Rafael Devers is the total package, ladies and gentlemen. He is a fantastic baseball player. But I think if you're going to trade for this guy, he's on a massive deal, by the way, a 10-year, $300+ million deal. If you're going to deal for this guy, you have to remember he is disgruntled. He does not like his situation, and that's what gives the Cubs leverage. I think if the Cubs could either trade Ballesteros or Shaw, and then Nazir Moulay, and then John Birdie, and we don't even need Sean Newcomb for that matter, but if they only have to give up one of those guys, I would make this deal, no questions asked. Yes, even Matt Shaw, I would give up if it was only one of those guys. Because, again, Rafael Devers is not happy there. He is refusing to play for them. So, the Red Sox could let that money rot on the bench if he refuses to play. You do not have to give up that much in this situation. It's a nice, fun thought in the theory, but no, absolutely not. Now, if it's Matt Shaw, Moulay, and Birdie, or Matt Shaw, Owen Casey, or something of that nature, I might strongly consider that deal. But not both Ballesteros and Matt Shaw. No way. No way. We cannot do that. That is way too much for a disgruntled player in the nature of Rafael Devers. But again, I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. I've seen comments across, my TikTok when talking about this. They're like, hey, he's a disgruntled superstar. I don't want to bring in that negativity to our locker room. You got to remember, if he comes to the Cubs, he will be happy to be out of Boston. He will be happy in a new spot. Could he eventually become disgruntled? Sure, that's always a possibility. That's just a possibility in life in general, no matter what you do. But in this situation specifically, this is a tremendous upgrade. It is a fix-all solution for third base. Yep, he is a liability defensively. That doesn't fix that situation. But in terms of offensive production, skyrocket. Skyrocket him. Your lineup would be Happ, Tucker, Suzuki, Devers 4th, or Devers 3rd if you really want to get with it. Bush would drop down to 5. PCA 6 or Nico Horner. It would just make your lineup that much deadlier on that front. I mean, Miguel Amaya, Carson Kelly would be batting 9th, or Dansby Swanson for that matter, if you went out and made a trade like this for Devers. That's how good of a player he is, and that's the battle. I've been saying it all year long here on Cubs Stadium. That is the battle the Cubs are dealing with here in this sense. Do you go for the proven commodity, Devers, or do we have to see what Matt Shaw? Odds are, just be frank, odds are Matt Shaw is not going to be Rafael Devers. Those are the odds. He is not going to be, just because he's the number 1 player in our system, doesn't mean he's going to be a superstar. Doesn't mean Ballesteros is going to be a superstar either. But this is the delicate balance that Jed Hoyer deals with on a daily basis. Do you go out and make a move like this? Fantastic question. Again, I think if the deal is right, you do. But not that specific deal that FanDuel pitched out there. So again, I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Please sound off in the comment section below. If you're a Sox fan and you see this, please let me know what your thoughts on Devers are, what you've seen over him the past few years, and all that good stuff, and what you would want in return for a guy like Rafael Devers. So the Cubs do open up a 3-game set at Wrigley starting tonight at 6:40 against the Miami Marlins. This is a get-right series for the Cubs. We have to take 2 of 3 minimum, and ideally we sweep these guys because they are not that good of a ball club. Like, straight up, the Cubs should beat these guys, okay? This should not be rocket science. It should be a straightforward deal. Now it's baseball. It's not easy. They're all professionals, right? But tonight, the Cubs got Colin Ryan on the bump. They're facing Quantrell. He's got a 7.11 ERA. You got to take care of business against that, right? Then we got Ben Brown, who has been struggling, but can get right on Tuesday. And then Tyone on Wednesday. So, easy 3-game set for the Cubs, I'd say. There is nothing easy in baseball, though. I would definitely be wary of that. But the Cubs need to get right in this situation. This is the time to do it. This is the series to do it. Our next stretch, we got the Marlins, we got the Sox, we got the Rockies, we got the Reds. This is the time to really extend ourselves over 500 and really make a solid push at separating ourselves in the Central. So, starts tonight, 6:40 Central Time. I'll be back tomorrow with another one. I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.